Okay, guys, so welcome to the session 4. Okay, so welcome to session 4 of the Platinum Brokers Mastermind session. Do these weekly sessions just to help everyone in the group and also share not only what I'm doing, but also giving you a helping hand in terms of making sure that any challenges you have on a weekly basis, either joint venture brokering or consulting, that we can all help as a group. If you've got any questions, please put them in to the chat box and we'll be able to tackle those. So let me just have a look and see. Let's see. Okay, I think we're okay. That's fine. Just testing and seeing if the screen's working. Okay, so as normal, the weekly mastermind call takes a format of 3 different areas. One is we get each of you guys to state your challenge or where you're having roadblocks right now or where you need help. Okay, and then number 2 is stage 2 is the group as a collective. We all ask the individual person qualifying questions. Now, I think the 2 challenges we have for this week, I can't see Murray or Jeff on the line, so hopefully they'll be able to expand more in the group. But normally what happens is we try our best to ask questions to the 2 members who have actually asked who have presented the challenge. So we can explore more about how we can really help them and is it really a challenge, and are they looking in the wrong direction, or do they think it's more of a, is it really a challenge, and that's the whole point of asking the qualifying questions. And then from the qualifying questions, we all come up with a solution. And it's been great so far. Everyone has chipped in, which I really appreciate. It's not just me giving solutions, but I want to rally everyone to give their opinion. Even all of us have different experience, and that really helps. And then at the end, I give my proposed solution of what I think that individual person should do, and hopefully if any of you guys are in the same situation, it will help you also. And also you can, at the end, you can also put your own questions in and ask me questions about things you need help on to move forward. And then at the end, I do a refresh, and I also let you guys know what I'm working on for you all in the group. Okay, so challenge number 1 comes from Jeff. Again, as you know, Jeff, he was doing he's got a JV project right now for a client who has a productivity training program, and he wants Jeff to help him generate leads or sales for that program. And one of the things that we discussed, if you look at last week's call, was how to generate leads and how basically the format I put together, which is something that I've done a few times, is offer the foundation module free to a JV partner who has a big list, whether it's an association or whether it's a group, and generate leads from that. Then upsell those leads to the full program, and everyone shares the profits of that. So it's a productivity program training course, and and Jeff has already identified his target market, which is professionals. Guys, if my voice cuts out now and again, don't worry, because it's being recorded. We don't always have the best internet connection, especially when we're traveling. So he's identified the target market as professionals, right? As HR managers, attorneys, doctors, accountants, anyone that has a high pressure a career is a target market for increasing their productivity. So he's identified the target market, which is professionals, and now where Jeff's having a challenge is how to identify the JV partners to target first. So some of the options we came to get up together with is local associations or local organizations. Or shall he target national associations or national organizations? LinkedIn groups, or LinkedIn groups. So what Jeff is looking at here, he needs help on, is identifying the JV partners to go after first. Now, would he be going after local associations, organizations, national associations, organizations, or LinkedIn groups to target them and say, hey, I've got this training program, and what I'd like to do is, we'd like to give away a free module to your list to add value. And if any of those people purchase the full program, we're prepared to give you a kickback. So what I like us to do as a group, and this is quite difficult because Jeff isn't on the line this time, but if you guys have got any questions, remember, not really solutions, but any questions. What do you think? What kind of things do you think Jeff is missing, or what do you think questions need to be asked to delve deeper into what Jeff's challenge is? Now, Jeff's challenge is pretty straightforward because he has his target, he has his hit list, okay, which is the individuals, right, that he's targeting. Now he has the JV partner, a target market, which he's looking at in terms of platform wise. So he's identified these 3 platforms. So I think in terms of qualifying questions, number one, because Jeff is not really here, I don't think we need to go into any qualifying questions because this is a pretty straightforward challenge. So anyone in the group, do you have any ideas before I give my solution in terms of what do you think Jeff should do? Do you think he should start off by targeting local, or go straight for a national organization? And apart from LinkedIn groups, where else do you think he should be targeting? So I'd really appreciate some input on that, guys. If you can just put it into the chat box, and have you got any ideas? If we can do a quick brainstorm of where else can he target? While I have my cup of tea. You guys have any proposed solutions or any ideas that can help Jeff? Any ideas? I know some of you have been involved in lead generation. So let's have a look. I know we have Mark on here as well, who's really good. Mark says, being that it's a digital product, national would be just as easy as local and a big audience. Mark, do you think national is good, but because I don't think Jeff has any case studies, or he has testimonials, but no real social proof in terms of how it's worked for other organizations they've JV'd with. So do you have any ideas, Mark, there that is it still a good idea to go for the national associations or national organizations, or would he be better doing a test or a smaller JV to start off with, just to get some traction and some social proof? Because my idea is, yes, you could go on. I mean, for example, I don't know how strong Jeff's credibility is in terms of LinkedIn and what have you. But with me, yes, I could easily do that because of the credibility I have on LinkedIn. So I could reach out to larger organizations. However, Jeff could use me as a case study if you want to, because it's something that I've done before. Ian says, social proof and testimonials, go local. Start local first, and then eventually go to national, armed with the social proof. And okay, that makes sense. That's pretty good. Okay, anyone else want to? Anyone else have any ideas? If you were in Jeff's shoes, one thing I think that makes me very successful at what I do. I'll just give you guys a tip. Is my father taught me that whenever I think about something that I'm going to do, or if I really want to be good at what I do, I've got to put myself in other people's shoes. So if you were in Jeff's shoes, for example, what would you do? How would you have a target list, okay, of professionals. I think the whole point here really is, where are these professionals, right? How do we go and find these professionals? And, you'll find them from things like groups, I guess, places where they hang out to increase their knowledge and productivity, right? Now, wouldn't it be interesting if Jeff could find a group or an association that gets involved in things like productivity. However, the only issue with that might be is they may have their own productivity training. But saying that, yes, it'd be interesting to see how many people really want to study productivity more. And that could be quite interesting. So let me know, guys, if you guys have any more suggestions. Good question, Mark. That is a good question. See, that's a question that we would normally ask in the qualifying stage. Now, Jeff, if you're watching this, and I'm sure you are, Mark's asked, how long term is your agreement to promote this product? Now, Mark, can you clarify what is your reasoning behind that question? Good question, actually. So, Jeff, Mark's saying that, how long term is your agreement to promote this product? Do you want to, can you clarify for us, Mark, in terms of the question you just asked? What's the reasoning behind that question? Thank you. Well, I'm just waiting for Mark to give me an update on. Okay, cool. Mark says if Jeff proves a funnel for generating leads, would the product owner then try and do it for themselves? That's a very good question. What normally happens is if you create marketing materials, right? In your agreement, there is an agreement that I have on the USB, or I will upload it to the group. It states in there that any marketing that you do is your collateral, right? And you own the rights to that. And what in essence you're doing is you're licensing that marketing to the client. Now, I did mention to Jeff, if he's generating leads for the client, Jeff is using his own tailored funnel, right? That he owns. So any funnel that I always suggest, if you create a funnel, right, it should be yours, okay, because you're working for the client. Your whole point is just to generate leads, not to create a new marketing system for the client, okay. So if Jeff has created a funnel that works, that's Jeff's funnel. He owns that, right? That should not be given to the client because you're not creating a marketing system for the client. You're just generating leads, okay. So that is a question that that's how I'd answer that question. And I have an agreement somewhere. I'll dig it up. In that agreement, it does mention about the collateral that if you create a system, or if you already have a system, right, which we do, because the funnel that I've used to do this is a proven funnel. It just needs tweaking. So yes, Jeff could own that funnel. Actually, I could license my funnel to Jeff, not only joking. But I will show Jeff how to set it up. And I think Jeff will own that funnel because it's good collateral to have. It's a good asset to have as well, to be able to go to each individual different people with your funnel that actually works. And that's what my whole point is with doing this. We create a template from it that everyone has access to, that they can then tweak themselves and create their own funnel from. Okay? All right, good. Okay, good stuff. I think that was really good. Okay, so let me know if you've got any more solutions for Jeff. Please put it in the chat box. If not, then I'll move on to the next challenge. Ian says, do you want to revisit the idea of licensing your leads? You know what I'll do, Ian? I'll do a training on that instead of because this recording, I don't want it to go too long. Then we have to upload it. And then it will just be too long. So yes, I will create a training, some training for you guys in the group about licensing and especially leads as well. How you could, in effect, license your leads. Because what you're doing is you own the leads, right? And you're licensing those leads to someone else on an exclusive basis in return for percentage. So there's no harm in doing that. You're not generating the leads for the other person. You have a funnel. Mark's hit the nail on the head. If you have a funnel that you own and you generate leads, it's your funnel. You're just using that to generate leads for clients. And those leads that come in, you license those leads to your client in return for a percentage of sales. That actually works out much better. It's much easier to explain and control as well. Okay, much easier. You could do it like, like brokers have a list, and what they do is you can only buy a one-time license to the list, and you can only use it one time. Then if you want to use that list again, you have to pay for it. So we can do something similar with leads. I'm sure we can. That the lead is a one-time lead. If it's something that is used just for the campaign and it's not to be contacted again. So I guess we could do that. But I will expand on that. I'll create a training for you guys in the group, and we'll go through that. So any more solutions, guys, for Jeff? If not, then we will move on to the next one. Okay, right. We're going to the let's go into the next one. Okay, so the next. Okay, first of all, before we go on, here's my proposed solution. Okay, and this is what I think that Jeff should do. Jeff should first of all, actually, let's go to the top. Let's go. Okay, let's go here. Okay, Jeff should first of all target local first to get some case studies and work in proof and numbers. It's easier also to deal with them, either local chapters or local organizations or local associations, just to get the ball rolling. Because if you do a smaller test just to get the first case study off the ground, then it's easy to add the numbers, okay? And it's easy to go to a larger organization and say, well, we did this with 100, you have 10,000. So here's what our conversion would look like, okay? Also, I think Jeff should target LinkedIn groups with the same proposition. Now, try and find either local LinkedIn groups or LinkedIn groups that are much more targeted, okay, with the same proposition. Because that's something that Jeff, that you can also do, which is very easy to do. And then once you have a working JV model, and also with that you'll have a JV template, which with social proof, it'll be very easy for you to find other JV partners who want a slice of the action. So once again, as Mark was mentioning, which is a great question, you create your own funnel from this, then you can use that funnel again and again and again. It's just a template, isn't it, really, that can be replicated. So that is my proposed solution on that. Okay, challenge number 2 comes from Murray. Now, Murray is partnering with a global cost-saving consultancy, okay? And it's very similar to what Jeff's doing. Murray is generating leads for them for their consultancy. Now, they go into large organizations, I think it's $1 million plus, to help them save money. They're a cost-saving consultancy. Murray's target is CFOs and operations managers, and he has been tasked with generating leads and making connections, right, as a connector for this consultancy. And he primarily wants to use LinkedIn to go after CFOs and operations managers. Now, what Murray wants to know is, what can he do to get in front of potential clients? Now, I'm going to share what I do and what you should be doing on LinkedIn, and how it actually does work. Before I do that, anyone in the group got any qualifying questions? Especially, has anyone got any experience of working with cost savings consultants, or anything in that region? Anybody got any questions? Right, let's have a quick look. They do, Mark. The consultancy has worked with some very, very big Fortune 500, Fortune 100 clients. They do have case studies and testimonials. So that's a good question. And the answer to that is yes. I did have a look at the companies they've worked with, and they've worked with some major, I mean, in the UK, we call them blue chip. In America, the Fortune 100, Fortune 500, they have lots of strong case studies and testimonials. So Do you have any suggestions, Mark, there at all, or do you have any more questions you want to ask? Okay, Mark's just typing. Good. That is very good. That's a very good question that no one's really thought of, have they? So Mark says, Murray, another thing that you can do is to get referrals from previous clients. So putting in a referral strategy would be a great idea. So Murray, Mark's brought a very good question there. One of the solutions that he's proposing, right, is a referral system. Okay, have a look at their existing clients and see how you can squeeze as much as you can from them. Can they maybe become the company's joint venture partners? Is there an option for their existing customers, existing clients to become JV partners, right? So think about that one. So that's a really good one. So guys, let me know if you've got any more solutions. Otherwise, I'm going to sort of go into talking about what I do in this situation and how you guys can replicate that. Okay. Mark says, can they see current CFOs? Can they see current CFOs should know CFOs of ideal clients? Can they see current CFOs? Is that right? Do you mean their current CFOs of the company or current CFOs which are their clients? Mark, can you just clarify that for me? Thanks. Or if you can just retype that question, Mark, please. Thank you. I'm just waiting for Mark to retype that question because I didn't understand what the question was. Okay, well, Mark's typing that. Yeah, that's a good solution that Mark's brought up. Look at their current um, clients. Can their current clients become referral JV partners for them? So I think that's a really, really good point to look at. Don't ever forget that because, we always look externally how far we can go out to get new JV partners, but we don't realize that the current clients may have something. Okay, Mark says the current client should know their ideal new clients. Okay, brilliant. Okay, that makes sense. So thanks, Mark, for that. That's very very helpful. So Murray, that's a good solution there in itself. So I'm going to just present now my solution, my proposed solution, and guys, have a look at this because this is what I do. Okay, this is how I deal with this. And right now, I'm working with 3 companies right now, getting them into different verticals, generating leads for their sales teams using LinkedIn. Okay, one is a $50 million company, one is a $120 million company. I've just been approached by Russell Brunson's team at ClickFunnels to help them do the same thing. So have a look at this. So first of all, Murray, your existing client, they need to leverage their current client list, right? They need to mention that. You need to mention that in any sort of conversation you have with anyone that's you're interested in bringing on board to help generate leads. Okay. Use a similar script below. Now, this is what I do on LinkedIn. I say, hi, Tom. I have a client who has worked with companies such as whatever it is and is interested in doing business with you. I just wanted to ask if you were open to any sort of strategic partnering. Now, the whole point of this question is to get a reaction. You want a reaction from the other side. You want them to say, yes, they're interested. Or that you want to pique their interest. You want them to turn around and say, okay, so tell me more about this client. Or, yes, Sahel, we're always open for strategic partnering. Okay, so if you get those two answers back, then it's pretty much a done deal. The next stage of the conversation and dialogue is to say to them, okay, that's great. What's the best number to contact you on? Right? Don't say what's the best number to contact you on to tell you more. That's a sales thing. Say, so what's the best number to contact you? Or what's the best number to get you on? Then wait. Let them come back again and give you their number. If they don't give you their number, then move on to the next one. Okay? That's what you need to do, because the number is important, because once you get the number, then what you need to say to them is, thanks, Tom, I'll get my client to call you directly. Or I'll get my client to call you directly and tell you more. Right? That's what you need. So you need to create an outcome. You need them to say yes. You need them to pique their interest, and you need them to give you their contact number. Then you need to say, and you need to get your client to actually call them or arrange the appointment and say, I'll get my client to call you directly. What's the best day to call you? So if they come back and say, well, Tuesday, 6 p.m. is a good time to call me. That's an appointment. You've now set the appointment that you give to your client, right? Job done. On to the next one. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now for a couple of companies. And, I normally charge 20K for this service up front. But what I'm doing right now is I'm working on a performance basis, because most of the companies I'm working with right now, they have a really high conversion rate for closing sales. So their sales team is very reliable. So I make much more than 20K from working with that client. The current client I'm working with, I make 20K on each sale they close, right, as a commission. So if you guys have any questions about this strategy, please put it in the chat box. Let me know if you want to ask me any more questions about that. But, guys, you should go out and do this. Don't watch me doing it. Don't let me talk about it. Go out and actually do it and test it for yourself. Okay, Ian says, I got disconnected. What's the scenario? Okay, that's fine, Ian. This is basically the scenario is Murray wants to get into companies to generate leads for his client who services corporate companies for cost-saving consultancy. So this is the strategy that I've just outlined here that I use for some of my clients to get them appointments to generate leads or generate leads for them to close the sales, where I get a commission on each sale. But these are high-end sales. Like one of my clients, for example, every sale they close, it's a 20K commission for me. So I just wanted to show you what I do, and I want you guys to go out and actually go and do this and test it. You may need to tweak it for yourselves, because this is the way I talk. So you may need to tweak it for yourselves until you get used to people coming back to you and saying to you, Ian, that's great, sounds good, here's my telephone number, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so tell me first of all if you understand that script. Can you give me a yes in the chat box if you understand that script? Okay, brilliant. This type of work really works well for software-based companies or any companies that are looking to get into different verticals. What that means is that any company that has a product that's already selling to companies that you're targeting, it's easy to get into those companies. So this normally works for those sort of products. Any company, any product that needs to generate appointments to leads to generate leads or generate appointments for salespeople to close. Those would be the ideal companies, and they have to be on LinkedIn. Brilliant. Okay, guys. Now, what I want to do now then is I hope, Murray, I hope if you're watching this, that really helps you. And if you've got any more questions, please, definitely pop them in the group. So, guys, that's the end of this week's coaching call. If you've got any questions for me, please put them in the chat box. Otherwise, we'll wrap up this call. And like I say, guys, this is your opportunity every week to share what you're doing and what's not working for you. And we're here to help. Give you that support that you need. Okay, guys, let me know if that's it. Then if it is, then we'll wrap this coaching call up so I can get it rendered. Yes? Good? Okay, guys, brilliant. Let's have a look. Any questions? Okay, good. Okay, once again, guys, thanks for attending. Like I say, I'm putting, actually, before we go, two things I'm doing for the group. Either this week or over the weekend, I'm going to put in some new projects that I've got lined up that you guys can work on. Also, I'm working on two really, really cool manuals. One is a manual for client acquisition, which means how to get the client, how to pitch the client, how to close the client, and also how to, after you've closed the client, how to manage the JV that you're doing, okay, on a regular basis. I'm also creating another manual which has all the joint venture marketing systems from scratch. It shows you what to do, how to track it, and also in there will be a module also on how to market yourself, which is very important. Okay, so those are two manuals. Thanks, Mark. Those are two manuals that I'm creating because I've got my next bootcamp in April, and I'm relaunching the program with the new manuals and a new system. Okay, it's not really a new system. I basically made the system much more easier to implement. And part of the system, I'm now including a retainer option. Okay, which is going to give you the opportunity to make between 6K and 9K. $9,000 per client before you've even started doing any JVs for them, because we're going to put in a retainer element and give the client two options. One is that they get you on a retainer with a low commission, or it's non-retainer on a performance basis with a higher commission. So in future, we're just going to offer those two options to clients when it comes to brokering. Consulting is a fixed fee. Okay, so consulting works differently. But you can, again, use the same strategy for that. This is something that I used to do many years ago. I still do retainers and percentage. And I think everyone in the group is at a position now to do that. And I think it's, what we do is very unique. No one can compare what we do to other marketing consultants. That's why I think it'll work really, really well. So I'm hoping to have those ready, hopefully by the end of March, definitely by April. So I'll give you guys a copy of those manuals, and you'll be my guinea pigs really for the retainer for the retainer system. I want you guys to go out and do it and try it and actually make money from it. Okay, so but that's what I'm working on right now. Just give you an update. So guys, once again, thank you very much for attending the coaching call, and I will speak to you guys soon, or even in the group. Take care. Bye bye.